Hello, Satnam. Happy Saturday. Welcome, welcome. Just give it a few minutes for a few people to sign on and say hello. Looks like we already have one with me here, and then more jumping on. Hello. Happy Saturday. This is Kundalini Yoga with Looney. And we have some interesting energy coming up, guys, and it's already in play right now. If you look into the southwesterly sky on a clear night, you'll be able to see Jupiter and Saturn really bright in the sky, kind of moving toward one another. And as come Monday, it'll only look like one because they'll be both in full alignment. So with that comes some energy that we will be working with today and aligning ourselves with. So welcome. Good to see you. All our music today, I run through an app called Yogi Tunes, which makes use of the copyrighted music by the artists. So I always want to make sure to do right by the musicians. They're so amazing. And they make the practice of Kundalini Yoga even that much more powerful through the sound current, through the rhythm that's created. So thank you to all the musicians that put beautiful music out there. We meet here every Saturday on YouTube for some Kundalini Yoga, for some community gathering. This is a really wonderful way to try out Kundalini Yoga or to continue practicing with me if you can no longer practice with me in studio. Not only can you practice with me here every Saturday, hi Paul Davies, not only can you practice with me here every Saturday at 12 Pacific, 3 Eastern, but you can also join me on my platform on my website. If you go to carolooney.com, you can go to the Yoga Club classes section, and I have an opportunity for you to participate with me 4 times a week in live classes, 2 of which are Vinyasa Flow, 2 of which are Kundalini. I also make all the videos available of those classes. So if you like practicing with me here, you can always practice with me more on Yoga Club. If by chance we get booted off of the live stream, it happens every once in a random occurrence, just jump back onto my YouTube page and you'll be able to, I'll reinstitute a new live stream. If you received this class by way of a link, that link would no longer work. So just jump right back onto Looney Yoga on YouTube if we were to get booted. Hey, Elizabeth, I'm glad you're here. Let's see, what else? I already mentioned to you about Yoga Club. With regard to Yoga Club, hey, Jeff Shalin, good to see you. With regard to Yoga Club, we have 2 very, very powerful and special classes coming up this week. Today is a segue into our Monday class. So today we're setting up an awareness around the power that the planets Jupiter and Saturn have over us. Jupiter and Saturn are going conjunct on Monday, which is also winter solstice. So today we're going to learn a little bit about Jupiter and Saturn and how they affect our being, right? Like the sun and the moon, it's self-evident that the sun and the moon have effect over us. Well, so do all the other celestial bodies. And so we're going to be talking about some of those subtler impacts that these planets have over us, specifically today, Jupiter and Saturn, because it's going to be of profound importance to be aware of that with the conjunction that's occurring on Monday. I'm going to have a special class. Hey, Brooke. Hey, Jean. We're going to have a special class on Monday on Yoga Club for this winter solstice / Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. It is a really profound time, right? Every year we go through the cyclical change of winter solstice, but with this coming Monday, not only is it winter solstice, which is the beginning of a new cycle, on an even subtler or, I guess, macrocosmic level even, we're also ending a 200-year cycle of Jupiter and Saturn going conjunct within Earth signs. Okay, so with that change, we're moving from the Saturn and Jupiter conjunction moving in Earth signs to Saturn and Jupiter conjuncting in air signs. And that's going to have a profound effect on the zeitgeist, the whole era that we're moving out of and moving into. So it behooves us to, today, learn more about how these planets affect us within our being. And then on Monday, we're going to talk about the larger expanse of winter solstice, of these conjunctions and what they are inviting in energetically into the next 200 years. So it's a really powerful time. Hi, Felicia. Good to have you. So let's see. Before I go too much into letting the whole cat out of the bag, before I even start with my Dharma talk, that's the Monday and Thursday. Oh, Monday class, which is the winter solstice. And then that same week on Thursday morning, Christmas Eve, we're going to wake up early, 7 a.m., chant together, celebrate in yoga community through my yoga club platform. And we're going to do some chanting and really connect into that Christ consciousness, right? This is the day that it was believed that Jesus Christ was born. And that Star of Bethlehem that they refer to, that the Magi, those wise men were drawn to, was said to actually be Jupiter and Saturn conjunct, right? So it's also said that on this powerful day of conjunction, that a new consciousness is born, higher vibration, higher evolution that was shown in the physical manifestation of Jesus Christ, if you believe that that avatar manifested into the material realm, which I do believe. And this also, again, signifies an opening and an increased potential for consciousness this time around. So we have Thursday morning, my Christmas Eve celebration at 7 a.m. So both of these classes, both Monday's class and Thursday's class, you can find by going to carollooney.com, going to the Yoga Club classes section and scrolling all the way down to where it says drop-ins. Click on drop-ins and you can see just the regular weekly classes I have and then those two special classes. All right, enough of that. What else? If you'd like to donate to today's class, it's always appreciated. I do this class as community service, and if you feel compelled to provide an energy exchange and the class means something to you or the work has benefited you in some way, energy exchanges are always appreciated. You can donate through PayPal under carollooneyyoga@gmail.com. You can also find me on Square Cash and Zelly. Couple things to be aware of for today's class. We're going to be doing a lot of work with breath. Hey, Kathy Mueller. Let's see. She says, hey, Kara and all. Such a powerful time. Thanks for all your special classes. You're welcome. Oh, my gosh. They're necessary and they're helpful. And it's, it gives you something in many ways to really align with, right? Sometimes we're so out of awareness of the larger expanse of reality that we're so caught up in our minds that we forget that there's so many interesting things and energies to align with and pay attention to if we can just get outside of our own victim mindsets and suffering. There's a lot to celebrate, a lot to experience. So today we're going to be doing 2 pranayamas, and then we're also going to be doing some breath retention. So I figure it may make sense in the beginning just to kind of get this all worked out so we can easily segue in from one to the next. Now we're going to be doing a combination today of breath of fire and Sitali pranayama. So breath of fire, as we know, is either panting through the mouth with a rhythmic pumping of the belly or through the nose. Okay, so we're going to be combining a breath of fire with the mouth with Sitali pranayama. Now Sitali pranayama is a very cooling, calming, relaxing breath, works with things like anxiety, fevers, and it involves the rolling of a tongue. And you breathe through that rolled tongue on the inhale. Exhale through the nose. Okay, so that's Sitali pranayama. If you can't roll your tongue, you can also, like sometimes people can't do that for however it is that their tongue might be attached. And if that's the case, then make a tiny little O mouth and have the tongue right behind the entrance of that O mouth and breathe as if you were breathing through a rolled tongue. So those are the 2 separates. You got your breath of fire and you got your Sitali pranayama. Now we're going to combine the 2. That's what the work is going to be today in our first pranayama, which is taking that rolled tongue and doing breath of fire through it. Interesting stuff, okay? Now, again, if you can't do the rolled tongue, okay, that's the first order of business. Second order of business, we'll be doing some regular breath of fire. Now, in both of these circumstances, if you are a woman who happens to be pregnant or on the first 3 days of your period, instead of doing any type of breath of fire, instead, please do long, deep breathing. Or, okay. Thanks for all the thumbs up, and I'm seeing more people on. Good to see you guys. Hello. I'm just rambling on about breath of fire and all sorts of things. So this is the last thing I want to coach you on with regard to breath retention today, if we have time, because I know last week we spoke about maybe extending class a little bit longer because Elizabeth was saying, just as soon as I feel like I'm really sinking into it, we're closing it up. And I was like, okay, I'm with you. I get that. And I always try and be conscientious of trying to keep your attention online, which is somewhat challenging to do with all of the distractions that can be around, and also allowing you the time to sink in. So I don't want to take up too much of your weekend time. So maybe we'll just go over about 10 minutes today from what we normally do and see how you guys like that. Please let me know. And the breath retention we're going to do is going to involve one nostril closed off. Inhale, suspending the breath, and pumping the belly 16 times while you chant a mantra in your mind. Okay, so we're going to do, and the mantra would be Wa He Guru, Wa He Guru, Wa He Guru, and then we switch nostrils. Suspend the breath, mentally chant Wa He Guru, Wa He Guru, Wa He Guru. This is called Sudarshan Chakra Kriya. That's my plan for the end of the Kriya set. You're welcome, Elizabeth. So just keep all those things in mind. If I've just overwhelmed you, don't be discouraged. I'll get back to it. I just don't want to have to spend this amount of time breaking up the practice because we have a lot to get to today. Since we're working with Jupiter and Saturn energy coming up, I figured it a really good idea to work on the chakras that are governed by the planets of Jupiter and Saturn. That would be Saturn governs the root chakra and Jupiter governs the third eye center. So we're going to be clearing out the chakra centers, the energy centers that are governed by those two planets. So we are in full alignment to receive the transformative energy that's going to start to take place, right? Always a well thought out plan coming from me. So let's slide back and let's get started. Let's see. Do I have anything else I got to do up here? I confuse YouTube with Zoom. And I'm like, do I have to mute? Do I need to start the recording? But that's all taken care of on YouTube. It's Zoom that has all those many steps. Okay. I'm going to slide back. Great to have you guys with me. Thank you for joining. Happy Saturday. All right. Speaker on. Maybe one of these days I will get a more sophisticated sound system and get an actual mic attached to me and some other stuff. But as it stands right now, I can't be bothered. I just want to teach class. Okay, let's settle in. I'm definitely feeling the energy lately. I'm like got a lot of playful energy, which is nice, especially since, you know, boredom is something that we've really had to deal with a lot lately, right? Boredom, the feeling of stagnancy, contraction, boundaries, all that Saturn energy, but also the Jupiter energy, right? We're expanding like we are here. Although we're contracted and put in boundaries with regard to our limitations based on COVID, we're expanding in other ways. I mean, as far as yoga club and my 40-day meditations have been concerned, ever since COVID began, we've developed this beautiful, pretty large community of people focused on expansion in other ways. So it's like you just respond to your environment as a yogi. And we're really learning how to not be so focused on what's happening materially, but maybe focus inward and start to expand our inner universe. And that's been very freeing. For all of us, if I do say so myself. All right, let's take a few breaths in through the nose. Sigh out through the mouth. Last time, in through the nose. Okay. Let's bring our hands to the heart center. Rub the palms together nice and strong, stimulating 72,000 energy channels. We call these nadis. We also know them as meridian lines. They begin in the navel center and they end in the hands and the feet. And so we rub the palms together, or sometimes when you rub the soles of the feet together, you start to stimulate and energize those energy channels. Let's bring the thumbs into the sternum, shoulders down away from the ears. Let's tune in with the Adi mantra. This is our sacred mantra that we use to tune in to the Kundalini yoga practice or any meditation we do, to unite us with that subtle governing aspect, that witness, that soul aspect of our being, our truth. And then we tune in with the Mangala mantra, mantra of protection, a mantra of surrender. So either listen to these mantras as a blessing if you're unfamiliar with them or just learning them, or if you know them or you feel like practicing, tune in with me. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose to begin. Guru Dev Namo. Guru Dev Namo. Namo. Guru Dev Namo. Arengure Name, Jugarengure Name, Satengure Name, Sri Gurudev Name. Arengure Name, Jugarengure Name, Satengure Name, Sri Gurudev Name. Arengure Name, Jugarengure Name, Satengure Name, Sri Gurudev Name. Take a deep breath in through the nose, relax, third eye. And exhale. do you guys know that experience when you have a laugh inside you and it really wants to get out and you're trying to stay focused? The whole time I'm tuning in with the Adi mantra and the Mangala mantra, this laugh just wants to come out of me because my dog, she's just so funny in her little subtleties. Like every time I'm trying to like get down into focus and like whatever, she'll come in and she'll totally like, and she'll like flap it off, which is such a metaphor for what I should be doing. It's like almost like she serves as a constant little reminder, like for fine tuning. And so, she came and did that and she made me laugh. And then I just kept wanting to laugh. Anyway, it's one of those days. I hope it rubs off on you guys if you're having a hard time finding laughter. Okay, so Jupiter and Saturn, root chakra, sixth chakra, so that's our root in our third eye center, our sixth chakra, are related, right? So we're going to be doing, hi sweetheart, I was just talking about you. We're going to be doing some understanding. We're going to get some understanding of Jupiter and Saturn and then correlate how it relates to the energy of our first chakra and the energy of our sixth chakra. As we know, we have 7 chakras through the body. They align with different elements, different colors, different states of consciousness within our being. And so I think we're going to find over the next few days, and this is just a deduction, I think it's a reasonable deduction, that these energy centers are going to be, excuse me, extremely affected by this Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. So the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, as we know, is happening on winter solstice, Monday, December 21st. And I'll describe in more detail on that day when we hold that special class the significance of this conjunction on the collective, both with regard to what Jupiter and Saturn stand for and with regard from them, their conjunctions moving out of the earthly governance into a subtler element of governance, which is air. I'll get into more detail on that on Monday. But today I'd like to discuss the significance of Jupiter and Saturn in our lives. So the qualities they represent and how they affect us. This can inform us on how best to approach Monday's conjunction and the shifts moving forward, right? Know thyself. That's what we're going to do today. So the planets, just as the sun and the moon have effect on us, right? Like sustaining life, right? Without the sunlight, life could not exist on this planet. That's a powerful impact, life or death. Reality. Okay, our ability to see, our ability to have light, that is from the sun. And a little more subtly, the moon's effects on the tides, on patterns, on cycles, okay, on seasonal cycles and things like that. So just as the sun and the moon have a very perceivable, self-evident impact on our lives, so do the other celestial bodies like Mercury, Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter, albeit oftentimes these effects are less perceivable. The effects are indeed more subtle in our being. And I really find it interesting, sort of the closed-mindedness that occurs, right, from a scientific level in some capacities, right? People will, oh, well, of course we need sun to live. And of course the moon, has an effect on the tides and things like that. But how could Jupiter have any effect on me? How does Saturn have any effect on me? That shutting down and that closed-mindedness seems so bizarre, but that is kind of the nature of our culture, right? If it's not seen or perceivable or measurable or somewhat self-evident within the five senses, if it's not in that category, then it's often dismissed. And in doing so, we're dismissing a lot of the power that these planets have over us, the awareness of what the power that these planets have over us. Now, Jupiter is said to be our planet associated with abundance, associated with expansion, with truth, with knowledge, education, discovery, exploration, tolerance, forgiveness, intuition, and dharma, right? Life's path, destiny. And Saturn is said to be our planet associated with cause and effect, consequence, karma, discipline, and boundaries. Right? The two seem polarized when you compare them next to each other, right? Now, where Jupiter has us pursuing high knowledge and expansion, Saturn keeps us focused in consequence, mortality, limitation, boundaries, and contraction. So there's going to be a feeling of push and pull or drawn into extreme polarities during this time. And not only just because it's Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, but we're moving into this whole new era, this whole new age of consciousness where things become more intense. Even time seems to be moving faster. It's especially helpful to know the details about these two planets due to the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction occurring this Monday. As these two planets align in 0 degrees in Aquarius on Monday, the effects of these planets on all our lives begins to gain deeper influence. So in short, it will be a powerful time in relation to Dharma as it relates to destiny and purpose, the Jupiter aspect, and karma in relation to action and consequences on the Saturn aspect. Now, this is not only just personally within our own lives and the microcosm of our own relationship and experience, but also in the collective, right? What is above is below, what is below is above. There's that holographic pattern that is carried out across the board. This is a good time to clear and charge the two energy centers or the chakras in the body that correspond with the planets Jupiter and Saturn, our first and our sixth chakras. Now, the first chakra, the root chakra, Muladhara, associated with the adrenal glands, the coccygeal nerve center, and our elimination process in the body. The chakra is located at the perineum, and it relates to the basic needs within our lives, right? The foundational needs, food, shelter. It's associated with grounding, security, and survival, right? Really basic elemental needs, animalistic in nature. It aligns with feelings of me and my. The force, there's a universal force associated with that, and that force would be gravity. The planet Saturn governs this, and the color red is associated with this chakra. Now, when the root chakra is unbalanced or it's blocked, addictive behaviors start to manifest, avoidance of intimacy, selfishness, fearful and untrusting behavior. When the chakra is balanced and stable, however, strong vulnerability, presence, self-love, we feel very connected to the soul, and tends to see adversity as a teacher, not as a perpetrator. Now, the third eye, the sixth chakra, is associated with our autonomic nervous system, the hypothalamus gland, and our sense of sight. The chakra is located at the point between the eyebrows. We call this the third eye center, and it relates to intuition and psychic senses. It aligns with feelings of I sense, I perceive, I intuit. It's the force that applies to this is psychic force. The planet Jupiter and the color indigo. Now, when the sixth chakra is blocked or unbalanced, it tends to manifest energetically or in the physical body as having eye problems, headaches, confusion, inability to focus, maybe psychic disturbance or lack of intuition. When it's balanced and stable, we're clear, we're calm, we're focused, self-responsible. We have a reliable connection with our intuition. We understand energy beyond form, right? We can understand energy in its subtler experience, and we can connect to our psychic sensibilities. Now, it's very clear that the qualities inspired by the planets Jupiter and Saturn will have a powerful effect on us over these, next few days, probably very powerfully, but there's going to be a change that takes place on the collective that transforms the zeitgeist from the last 200 years and creates a new energy of the times for the next 200 years, moving from kind of the earth signs, the governing materialism, not even in the negative sense, but in the neutral sense, like focused on the material world, moving into a subtler element of air, which creates expansion and more subtle sensibilities. So we're going to see some really powerful changes occurring in society as a whole as a result of this elemental change. And because of all of this, it makes sense to clear and charge and strengthen the energy centers that are affected by these two planets as we move closer to this time of transition. So as such, we're going to be doing some work today on the root chakra and on the sixth chakra, the third eye center, followed by a powerful meditation in our mantra of the week. So let's start with some Sufi circles. I'm going to grab my hands onto my shins and inhale forward, exhale back. Let's see. No, I don't want that. I want this. Eyes at third eye center. The sound of humming, both connecting us to the earth, right? Feeling the vibration, feeling yourself grounded, and also allowing that energy to rise to higher frequency. So, along with me, powerful humming. Inhale, hold center, spinal flex. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands on the shoulders. Shoulders down away from the ears. Inhale, twist left. Exhale, twist right. Realigning the vertebrae of the spine. Drawing that energy up into the higher center of the heart. Keep those eyes directed up to third eye center. Stimulating hypothalamus, pituitary, and pineal gland. Keeping with this rotation, lift the hands off the shoulders, Gyan Mudra. Index finger, thumb joint. Reach those arms to the sky. Head tips back, eyes are at third eye center. Inhale left, exhale right. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, center. And let's sweep from side to side. Inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale. Sweeping through the energy field. Opening up through the side body and the low back. Deepening your capacity of breath into the lungs. Strong charge of the energy field around the body. Good. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reach arms high. Hinge forward, come onto tabletop position. Let's go into cat-cow. Hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. And I begin lifting my chin and tail on inhale, rounding and tucking, doming on exhale. Eyes are closed. Drawn to third eye center. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, chin and tail. Exhale, round. And then let's sit back, child's pose, for just a moment. Forehead to the ground. Now it's a little more challenging to practice yoga in home than it is in studio for a handful of reasons, but oftentimes the most challenging is how easily we become distracted. When we step into studio, it's like a sacred space. Phones aren't allowed. You really just leave your situation at the door. Yoga at home is a little different. So I invite you to mentally and energetically leave your stuff at the door. Push the phone away. Create an environment of containment for this hour and a half that we'll be together. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale. Inhale, rise up, and we're going to begin kind of an out of the ordinary posture, which is wide extension of the legs. Give it a little shake. You know, it's kind of early in the game to come into a straddle. If you find yourself kind of collapsing, take a blanket or a pillow and kind of put it under your bum to hoist your hips up. Okay, now extending through the toes. As we extend through the toes, we feel the engagement in the thighs, running all the way down to the tips of the toes. Okay, I'm going to interlace my hands behind my back. And as I lift and bow to each side, I'm going to chant the sound HUD. The mantra HUD is very associated with the low triangle of consciousness, right? It clears blocks here and draws the energy up through the inflection of the R. So hands are interlaced. This is inhale, HUD, 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 HUD. Okay, continue. Breath is self-regulated. Eyes are in third eye center. Interlace those hands. HUD, 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 HUD. Project that sound. The sound has purpose here to move energy. HUD, 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 HUD. Let's go for 30 more seconds, moving side to side, and then we start moving forward, up and down. HUD, 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 HUD. One more each side. HUD, 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 HUD. Now bowing forward. HUD, HUD, HUD. Keep the engagement in the legs. HUD, 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 HUD. Feel free to bend in the knees. Helpful. HUD, 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 HUD. Root block is engaged. Eyes are drawn up to third eye center. HUD, 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 HUD. 30 more seconds. HUD, 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 HUD. Start to feel the freedom maybe in your body. Tension releasing, energy unlocking. HUD, 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 HUD. Last 4. HUD, 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 HUD. Inhale. Engage. Pull the shoulder blades back. Reach through the knuckles. Root lock third. Exhale. And inhale. Root lock, third eye, reach through those knuckles, draw the shoulder blades together. Exhale, relax. Think about root lock, third eye, right? Engagement, focus. Energy goes where your focus goes, right? I learned that. One of the early lessons my dad taught me when I was riding a bike, right? If I was looking at the ground, I would always tip over. And he's like, you go where your focus goes. So root lock, eyes drawn up to third eye focus, and then this tension, friction, and pressure we create up in the heart serves as an invitation for the energy to rise and blocks to clear up in this gateway between the low triangle and the high triangle of consciousness. So all this stuff, these exercises, although at forefront may seem somewhat arbitrary and bizarre, they actually have really profound purpose. And that's the beauty of it all. Okay. Keep those toes nice and pointed. Arms rise up. Now, if you have tight shoulders, I invite you to interlace the last 3 fingers and extend the Jupiter to the sky. If tight shoulders are not your issue, then just lock the thumbs. Okay? One of these days I'll get a DJ. All right, hands up overhead. Inhale left, exhale right. This is a gentle rotation of the rib cage. Okay? Inhale, exhale. Now, as the music continues, you may start to find some sort of consistency pattern in the pace in which you twist to the left and to the right and with the breath. Eyes to the third eye center. Notice if you're getting a little lax. Extending through the elbows, shoulders down away from the ears. Alignment is key. Engagement is key. You may be feeling this in the hip flexors, in the inner thighs, inviting some clearing of energy or some release in the muscles that are affected by the low chakra. And corkscrewing that energy up. Inhale, exhale. Let's go for 30 more seconds. Keep engaged through the legs and the arms. If it's a little uncomfortable, stay with it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, inhale. Root lock, third eye, reach those arms up. Hands coming from the chest, interlace the fingers, like you're hugging a barrel. Chin is slightly to the chest. And this is going to be using a little bit of centrifugal force that's created here with that extension of the arms. Inhale, exhale, left. This should feel light and free and very mobile. Notice if you're gripping anywhere, it may actually cause an injury versus preventing an injury. So try and be both engaged and relaxed. Block is engaged, eyes are up at third eye center. calling me. Keep going. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, inhale, center. Like a big expanse, energy around the heart. Engage the muscles of the arms, point through the toes, root lock, third eye. And exhale. Relax for a moment. Just stay there in a meditative posture. All right. Keeping with this somewhat V shape of the legs, I'm going to come at an angle. Fire comes into play. Alright, we're going to lean back. Legs are at an angle here. Flex through the feet. My head is lifted, so I'm engaging into the abdominals. Left hand on the belly, right hand on top. Begin that Satali Pranayama, breath of fire. Feet are flexed. Eyes are closed, third eye centered. Make sure that breath is sustainable, right? Not too manic, not exhausting itself, but sustainable. Root lock is engaged, sex organ, rectum, navel muscles engaged, eyes are at third eye center. 30 more seconds, keep those legs engaged too. Inhale. Retract the trunk, retract the tongue, eyes to third eye center, suspend the breath, root lock. Exhale, release. Your energy up into the third eye center. What better way to close off a root shot practice than with a set of frogs? Onto the balls of your feet, please. Okay, so the balls of my feet are grounded. My heels are lifted and touching. My fingertips plant very strongly on the ground. So as we mentioned in class before, the fingertips energetically align with various parts of the brain. So as we stimulate fingertips, put pressure on them, we're actually activating the brain. Okay? Now frogs. Inhale to lift the hips up and tuck the chin. Exhale to drop the hips and lift the head to the sky. So pumping, inhale, exhale. Inhale, extending, lifting, extending. Okay, so as the hips drop, the chest head lifts. As the hips rise, the head lowers. Here we go. Let's go for 26 on my count. 1, 2, 3. Breathing through the nose. 4, 5, 6. Eyes to third eye. 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 20, 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Inhale. And exhale. Ground the feet. Exhale. Down on chakras. Hips on the heels. Eyes are third eye center. Just relax for a moment. Please focus all your energy at the third eye center. Root lock is engaged, squeezing sex organ, rectum, navel. And then eyes are focused at the third eye center. Saturn, Jupiter. Sensitizing those two areas. Let's take a few more long, deep breaths. All right. Next few exercises are associated with the sixth chakra. And as such, as you move up the chakras, the kriyas get a little weirder. My right foot grounds. My hips remain balanced on my left heel. Okay? My left hand, thumb, presses into the center of the chest. Okay, now if you feel very vulnerable under that right hip, you can just take a pillow or a blanket and shove it right under there so both sides of the hips are supported. Otherwise, that heel is kind of in the perineum, balancing you in the center. My right arm reaches up and I begin breath of fire while flexing through that right wrist. Eyes are at third eye center. Here we go. Feel that tension in the forearms, right? They start to kind of freeze up. It feels like things are slowing down. You're getting into contact with some blocked energy in the heart center here, myself included. Now inhale. Lift that hand, suspend the breath, block third eye. Exhale, release. Tuck that right foot under you. Left foot goes forward. Sit down on that heel on the perineum. Right hand is at the center of the heart. Left hand raises up. Here we go. Strong third eye focus. Inhale. Root lock third eye. Exhale, release. Tuck that foot under. Both legs in rock pose. Both wrists lift. Breath of fire. Eyes at third eye, shoulders, away from the ears. Move through any of that tension you feel in the forearms, right? They feel a little constricted, a little hot. Keep moving through it, even if you have to slow your pace down. Inhale. Root lock, third eye. Exhale. Feel that heartbeat. Feel all the energy in your arms and your hands. Now make fists. Just double check. Thumbs are on the inside of the fists, and we roll very strong energy right in front of the heart center. Okay? Keep going with a breath of fire. Eyes the third eye. Remember, this is energy work. What better exercise to get going when you're doing energy work? It's creating a turbine of energy right in front of the heart. Stay in it, guys. There's a lot to focus on. Do what you can, right? There's a root lock. There's a pumping belly breath of fire. The eyes are at third eye center. And we're rolling energy in front of the heart. Keep the energy going. 30 more seconds. Now deep inhale. Spread those arms out, root lock, third eye. Keep the posture. Inhale. Palms face up on the knees, thighs, relax. During the week, please stay in a meditative posture while I chat a little bit. During the week in my yoga club classes, we focused on balancing out the expressions of the elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether within the physical body. Those manifestations of the elements that are in our outside experience also manifest in our internal experience. So we spent all week balancing our tattvas, aligning our gunas and our tattvas. Today we focus on the first and the sixth chakra as they associate with Saturn and Jupiter. On Monday, we're going to have a very powerful culmination of all of the work we've been doing over the past week to align with this powerful astrological change. It's considered the Great Reset. They're calling it the Great Reset. A shift in potential, a shift in possibility. And not to sound utopian, this also comes with a lot of growing pains, as it's suggested. And this is another reason why it's so important to align ourselves to be in our most authentic self, our most empowered and spiritually sovereign self as we approach this new era. Please come into seated cross-legged position. Okay, that pumping belly meditation I was explaining to you. Before we come down into Savasana, I'd like to do what's called the Sudarshan Chakra Kriya. It's a very powerful meditation. It helps us cut through neurotic and psychotic behavior, right? We're all prone to it. Helps us purify past karma, which is really helpful at this point when we come into a more powerful expression of Saturn, which governs karma, cause and effect, consequence. And helps us connect into intuition, which is a quality of Jupiter. So it's a really powerful and timely meditation. Now, my left hand is going to be in Gyan Mudra. My right hand is going to close off my right nostril. I'm going to take a deep inhale through my nose. Let my belly really fill up. Eyes are at third eye center. And as the mantra plays, Wa He Guru, Wa He Guru, I mentally chant the mantra as I hear it while I pump my belly to the rhythm. It's going to be 16 rhythms. Wa He Guru, Wa He Guru, Wa He Guru, 16 times. So if you find yourself a little shy of capacity, then maybe do it 8 times. Give yourself that extra 8 beats to take a fuller, deeper, more profound breath. And maybe you could find yourself through the course of it catching a fuller breath capacity. So my point is if you can't hold your breath for the 16 rhythms, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Pump it as many rhythms as you can. So we're going to start with the right hand on the right nostril, and then we're going to switch. Gyan Mudra right hand, left hand on left side, for about 3 minutes. So altogether, this will be about a 6-minute meditation. 3 minutes on one side, 3 minutes on the other. Eyes are at third eye center. Let's start left hand Gyan Mudra. Eyes at third eye center. Do your best. Try and stay out of anxiety on the whole breath, right? Sometimes triggers fear of death, anxiety. Eyes are at third eye, root log. Take a deep breath in. Here we go. Exhale mouth. Inhale nose. Two more on this side. Switch hands. Left hand on left nostril. Here we go. Don't lose your focus. Stay contained in the experience. Two more. Last. Release the hand. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Not an easy kriya. One that is very powerful. Moves a lot of energy. When we think about the polarity between Saturn and Jupiter, Saturn is boundaries, constriction, discipline. Jupiter is expansion, boundarylessness, exploration. Without the energy of the two balancing the other out, the negative expression of each takes hold. So without the energy of Jupiter, discipline becomes lacking, self-love, lacking focus, forward thinking. Without the energy of Saturn, Jupiter flies off the map and doesn't have any trajectory. So when we can balance the first and the sixth chakra, align Jupiter and Saturn together to be balanced, then they work in harmony with each other. Prime our bodies to both have the positive expression of the contraction and the discipline and the limitation of Saturn, and the positive expression of Jupiter energy. When you're ready, please come laying down onto your back. A little sound healing. Feet and thighs turn out naturally. Palms face up next to the hips. Shoulders are down away from the ears. Palms face up next to the hips. Allow yourself to loosen up in the neck as you lay down. Jaw softens. Tongue relaxes in the mouth. Ears fall back. Eyes sink back. Gently wiggling your fingers and your toes. Draw your knees into your chest. Wrap your forearms around your shins. Rock from side to side. And please roll onto one side into fetal position. While you're there, take a full deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. Use your top hand to press yourself up into seated. Perfect timing. Okay, guys, so as luck would have it, every time it's time for mantra, Honey shows up. She's my little clock and lets me know when it's time to start chanting. Our mantra of the week, Apsahai Hoa. This mantra is a mantra that helps remove blocks, right? So it helps really allow the energy of both Saturn and Jupiter to come into, again, their most sattvic expression, I guess you could say. It removes the limit of obstacles, and it also allows for abundance, allows for prosperity. So it's a helping hand for both Saturn and Jupiter. The mantra is Apsahai Hoa, Sache Da, Sache Doa. And then we chant Hud, 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 and let the belly move as we chant it. Again, Apsahai Hoa, Sache Da, Sache Doa, Hud, Hud, Hud. Translation is, Creator has become my protector. The truest of the true is taking care of me. And then we say, God, 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 or Hud, Hud, Hud. Okay? Hands can either be in Gyan Mudra, or the hands can be placed over the heart, left over right. All right? Eyes are at third eye center, and I picked kind of a nice soulful version. I love Icana's music because there is a lot of soul and a lot of heart expression, a lot of, I don't know, expression from lower chakra into the heart, throat. It's just kind of full body. Eyes at third eye. Just take a listen. Here we go. Apsahai Hoa, Sachita, Sachadoa, Hat, Hat, Hat. 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 Apsahai hoa, Sachita, Sachadoa. 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 Hat, hat, hat. Stay in that space. Stay in that sacred space. Sachita, Sachadoa. Hat, hat, hat. Apsahai hoa, 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 Sachita, Sachadoa. Hat, hat, hat. Apsahai Hoa Sacheda Sachadoa Hat 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 Apsahai Hoa Sacheda Sachadoa Hat Hat Hat. Let's go for 4 more rounds. Apsahai Hoa Sacheda Sachadoa Hat Hat Hat. Apsahai Hoa Sacheda Sachadoa Hat Hat Hat. 2 more. Apsahai Hoa Sacheda Sachadoa Hat Hat Hat. Last. Apsahai Hoa Sacheda Sachadoa Hat Hat Hat. Inhale. Suspend the breath. Long neck, shoulders away from the ears. One time, inhale. And although you can feel it in your body, it's maybe not completely evident to the conscious mind how beneficial chanting and singing is to that Jupiter-Saturn relationship. Singing, expressing your own vibration through sound could not be more grounding, right? It's so grounding. And at the same time, it opens the heart and expands you into an expressive version of yourself, which is so Jupiter. So I hope you really enjoyed today's practice, connecting the energy of Jupiter and Saturn, priming and prepping our bodies for this upcoming shift of times. Hands come into the heart center. Let's close out with one long, round, beautiful a cappella version of The Long Time Sun. And then we close out with 3 long vibrational expressions of the sound Satnam, declaring, truth is our identity. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose to begin. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Root lock, third eye. Suspend the breath. And bring those folded hands to third eye center, blessing that you'll be guided by intuition and have the wisdom and courage to follow it. Exhale, bowing forward. Satnam. Namaste. Thank you, guys. Thank you, honey. Again, if you'd like to join me on Monday for this very powerful celebration, please go to carolooney.com and go to Yoga Club classes. Scroll all the way down and you'll find the drop-in classes. And in those drop-in classes, you'll have the option for not only this winter solstice class coming up on Monday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, but you'll also see my Christmas Eve celebration on Thursday, December 24th at 7 a.m. All beautiful energy practices. All will be very nourishing, enriching mind, body, and soul. I'd love for you to join me on those classes as drop-ins. I also have monthly memberships. We do live classes 4 times a week, and all the videos are available, so you can just hang with me that many more times a week. Let's see what we have. We got Epic Eyes says, lots of flames. Mighty Joe blows a kiss to my feet, it looks like. Howard, you're welcome. Elizabeth, Satnam, you're welcome. Thank you for the beautiful comments, people. It's great to see you. Again, all the music from Yogi Tunes. You can see me here every Saturday along with Honey at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. And then I have classes all week long on my platform Yoga Club on my website, carolooney.com, under Yoga Club classes. Again, big, powerful energy coming up Monday, winter solstice. Let's see if you'd like to donate to today's class. It's always appreciated. It's not required, but if you got something out of today's class and you want to share the love, you can find me on PayPal under carolooneyyoga@gmail.com. You can also find me on Square Cash and Zelly. Hey, Tom Carlson, Natasha Reeves, you're welcome. All right, guys, great to see all of you today. I look forward to seeing you during the week for this powerful energy, and we'll be here again next Saturday. So toodaloo, have a great day, great weekend, and email me if you have any questions, carolooneyyoga@gmail.com. All right, bye-bye. Thank you. See you later. Satnam.